It's early evening on an island in the South China Sea called Chek. This once insignificant stretch of land and surrounding sea has been chosen as the site for Hong Kong's new international airport. To undertake the construction of the platform, the base on which the airport will be built, the largest commercial dredging fleet ever assembled for a single project has been mobilized. And on the land, an equally formidable array of huge cat dump trucks and other earth-moving machinery. This blast consumed 90 tons of explosive and moved 200,000 cubic meters of earth. The settling dust should have heralded the end of a working day. But on Chek there's little difference between night and day. Here, men and machines work round the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For this project is the largest of its kind in history. And there's a 41-month deadline to move 360 million cubic meters of material. A deadline that is measured in tons per second. Almost within the gaze of the world's largest Buddha on nearby Lantau Island, Chek is located in one of the most picturesque settings of the South China Sea. The master plan developed by the Provisional Airport Authority called for the flattening of the hills of Chek and using the fill material to extend the landmass by some 4.5 kilometers. Aside from the landfill taken from the island, some 75 million cubic meters of marine sand had to be brought in by dredgers from offshore borough areas. This would enable a platform 6 kilometers long by 3.5 kilometers wide to be formed, surrounded by a seawall. Before any reclamation work commenced, however, some 70 million cubic meters of mud had to be removed by dredger from the seabed around the island. This called for some of the largest and best equipped dredging vessels in Europe to sail to Hong Kong, including the gigantic JFJ de Nul. This vessel, which is the pride of the Belgian dredging fleet, is over 140 meters long and has a hopper capacity of 12,000 cubic meters. The Nishimatsu Company of Japan, who've been operating in Hong Kong since 1962, were instrumental in putting together the consortium which was to undertake the project. Known simply as the Airport Platform Contractors Joint Venture, the consortium included Costain of the UK, Morrison Knudsen of the US, Ballas Needham from the Netherlands, Jan de Nul of Belgium, and Chek of the People's Republic of China. The main dredging works were undertaken by APC Marine Works Joint Venture, which consisted of Ballas Needham and Jan de Nul. Marine work was then subcontracted to Chek Marine Joint Venture, which consisted of Boskalis International, Ham Dredging, Jan de Nul, and Ballas Needham. Chek was also a subcontractor. On the land excavation side, the contract was undertaken by the APC Civil Works Joint Venture, which consisted of Nishimatsu, Costain and Morrison Knudsen. The work was then subcontracted to Roche, Nishimatsu, Yamazaki and Chek. Roche Brothers, one of the largest privately owned earth-moving companies in Australia, had a wealth of mining experience and a large fleet of earth-moving equipment. They were an obvious choice for a project of this scale and commenced work on Chek in February 1993. The other principal subcontractor was Yamazaki from Japan. This company was involved in the construction of the new Kansai airport platform near Osaka and is Japan's leading earth mover, as well as being the largest private Caterpillar fleet operator in the world. Yamazaki moved onto site in January 1993 with a fleet of 47 Cat dump trucks and other earth-moving machinery to assist in the operation. Together, Roche and Yamazaki were to average 100,000 cubic meters per day. Part of the contract called for the flattening to within 6 meters of sea level of the Two Brothers Islands, as they would have caused interference with air traffic operations. Chek, or China Harbour Engineering Company from the PRC, was responsible for this part of the contract, as well as supplying and operating all grab dredging equipment on the project. When the contract commenced, there was very little infrastructure on Chek. Some preliminary work had been completed, including the removal of the tops of the hills, construction of some basic haul roads, and the demudding of the advanced works area. On the west shore lay the island of Lam Chau, separated by 2 kilometers of sea. This would have to be bridged within a year. Basic facilities such as office quarters and accommodation had to be erected on site. Essential equipment soon started arriving, including extra trucks and a myriad of other items necessary for the project. Tires were stockpiled as wear and tear on around-the-clock operation was going to be high. Maintenance facilities were established, as well as a huge inventory of spare parts valued at many millions of dollars. Because of the round-the-clock operation, the truck drivers, equipment operators and mechanics, numbering some 450, were housed on site. Many of the drivers came from the Philippines, where they'd been involved in similar mining operations. This gave them the necessary skills for Chek. Two canteens were set up, offering cuisine to satisfy a wide variety of tastes. These services had been subcontracted out and required high standards. A mail office was also established to handle a multitude of inward and outward bound documents and letters, as well as ship's mail.